The purpose of this movement is to learn how to flex at your hips using your hamstrings, gut, and butt for control. This is a skilled movement that can strengthen your glutes, abs, and hamstrings, but is also very easy to do wrong and hurt yourself if you are a butt gripper or back gripper. Learning to do squats and deadlifts properly and being able to selectively choose which movement you want is a key ingredient to core stability and functional strength. Start in bare feet and find a broom or stick to hold on to about shoulder width apart. If you have a full-length mirror, look at your side profile as you do this exercise. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and make sure your body is in a good vertically stacked position. Your lower rib cage is pulled back, your glutes are gently pressing your pelvis forward, and your knees are straight. This is the position you should start and end the movement in. Initiate the movement by gently sitting your butt back and down and proportionately bowing your torso forward as to keep the weight evenly balanced over top of your feet. Don't shift all your weight back to your heels. Maintain the tripods and lightly grab the ground with your feet as you bend. The first part is just a baby squat. The second part is what I call the thirsty bird. Imagine you are one of those old toy birds that hinge at the hip to go down and drink the water. From the baby squat position, imagine I skewered you through the hip joint and fused every other joint in your body. Keeping your weight balanced over top of your feet, use the muscles up the backs of your legs to lower your torso forward like a drawbridge. The lower you get, the stronger you should engage your lower stomach muscles, and the greater the stretch feeling up the back of your legs will be. If you have really tight hamstrings, you will not be able to bend very far in this movement before the tightness in your legs should stop you. If you have overly flexible hamstrings, you may be able to fold yourself right in half and not feel anything with this movement. The tight hamstring people will tend to hinge in their back to compensate, and the loose hamstring people will tend to overly brace their back to compensate. Both will result in poor stability and the glutes not firing properly. Practice this movement while watching your side profile in the mirror to see if you are cheating, and pay attention to what you feel in your legs. The spine should remain in a neutral S-curve as the torso and pelvis flex forward. Once you have reached the bottom, engage your lower stomach muscles more strongly. Push your feet down through the floor and drive your pelvis forward up towards the stick. At the top of the movement, your gut and butt should be tight, and your side profile should be vertically stacked, not leaning backwards. The goal is to use the backs of your legs and hinge in your hip to avoid excessive strain on the low back. The lowering movement should be slow and controlled, and the lifting movement should be faster and more of a driving force from the legs. Make sure to finish off the movement by pressing your glutes forward to drive your pelvis to the stick. Once you can complete this movement with good form, you can start using a heavier weighted barbell to build strength. But focus on perfecting form first, and you will prevent injury. If you are quite tight, it is best to place a weight on a lifted platform and not lift it from the ground until you get stronger and more flexible. Most people just need to learn to perform the movement, and heavy weights are not necessary. Repeat this exercise 10 to 15 times as part of a routine, and try to understand how the movement is different than a squat.